There comes a time in life when the noise of the world no longer deserves your attention. In younger years, so much energy is spent worrying about what others think, trying to please family, maintaining relationships, and carrying burdens that were never truly yours to bear. But as the years pass, wisdom begins to settle in, and a realization takes shape. Peace comes when you stop explaining yourself, stop seeking approval, and start focusing on your own well-being. In old age, the greatest gift you can give yourself is the freedom to live on your own terms, to nurture your own happiness, and to embrace the quiet power of staying silent when the world expects you to react. Many people spend their entire lives giving. They have raised children, supported spouses, cared for aging parents, and worked tirelessly to build a stable home. They have sacrificed, compromised, and endured difficulties, often putting their own needs last. But what happens when the years begin to slow, when the children grow up, when the responsibilities shift? This is the moment when a choice must be made. Some continue to live for others, allowing old obligations and expectations to dictate their time and emotions. Others, however, recognize that this stage of life is different. It is no longer about proving anything to anyone, but rather about finding contentment within. Focusing on yourself in old age does not mean becoming selfish. It means finally prioritizing your own peace. For decades, life may revolve around the happiness of others, but now is the time to turn inward and nurture your own soul. This means doing the things that bring you joy, whether that is reading a book in silence, taking long walks without explanation, learning something new just for the pleasure of it, or simply resting when your body asks you to. No more rushing. No more unnecessary obligations. No more trying to meet expectations that no longer serve you. Staying silent in certain moments becomes one of the most powerful tools of wisdom. In younger years, there's an urge to explain yourself, to defend your choices, to engage in unnecessary arguments, and to fight for validation. But in old age, silence becomes a shield. It allows you to observe rather than react, to choose peace over conflict, and to walk away from negativity without feeling the need to prove your worth. There is strength in knowing that not every battle deserves your attention, and not every opinion about you needs a response. People will always have something to say about your decisions, your lifestyle, your beliefs, even your appearance. But their words have no power unless you give them importance. When you focus on yourself, you stop seeking validation from others. You stop allowing their judgments to affect your inner peace. You learn to let go of resentment, to release old disappointments, and to accept that you do not need to carry the weight of other people's expectations. There is immense freedom in this. One of the greatest challenges of old age is realizing that not everyone will understand your journey. Friends may drift away. Family members may not always appreciate your choices. And society may try to convince you that your best years are behind you. But none of that matters when you are at peace with yourself. The world is noisy, full of distractions and opinions. But when you focus on yourself and stay silent in moments of unnecessary conflict, you create a space of calm where true happiness can thrive. This stage of life is about embracing simplicity and allowing yourself to exist without the constant pressure to perform, explain, or adjust for the comfort of others. It is about waking up each day and deciding what brings you peace rather than what is expected of you. It is about choosing relationships that add value to your life, rather than maintaining connections out of obligation. It is about knowing that you have done enough, given enough, been enough, and now it is your time to simply be. There is something deeply powerful about an older person who has mastered the art of inner peace. They do not argue needlessly. They do not waste time trying to change others. And they do not seek approval for the way they choose to live. Instead, they move through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that their worth is not measured by how much they give to others, but by how deeply they are able to live in alignment with their own needs and desires. Focusing on yourself in old age is not about shutting people out. It is about becoming selective with your energy. It is about understanding that not every problem needs your involvement. Not every argument deserves your voice, and not every demand on your time must be met. It is about realizing that your peace is priceless, and that guarding it is an act of self-respect. Some will misunderstand your silence. They will mistake it for weakness, for detachment, or for lack of interest. But silence is not an absence of thought. It is the presence of wisdom. It is knowing when to speak and when to listen, when to engage and when to walk away. It is understanding that not everything in life requires your participation. The most beautiful thing about aging is that it brings a clarity that youth does not have. You begin to see what truly matters, what is worth your energy, and what can be left behind without regret. You no longer need to prove yourself to anyone because you have already lived, learned, and endured enough to know who you are. And when you reach that place of deep self-awareness, there is no need to seek permission to live as you choose. This is a time to focus on your own growth, your own happiness, and your own peace. It is a time to let go of anything that drains you, to walk away from toxic relationships, and to invest in the things that bring you joy. It is a time to embrace silence as a tool for strength rather than as a response to weakness. The world may not always understand the quiet confidence of those who have learned to focus on themselves, but that is the beauty of it. You no longer need the world's understanding. You only need your own. The peace that comes with this realization is priceless, and it is the greatest gift you can give yourself in your later years. Once you reach a certain stage in life, you begin to realize that not everything deserves a reaction. The battles you fought in your younger years, the need to be heard, to be right, to prove yourself, start to seem small in comparison to the peace you now crave. Focusing on yourself does not mean isolating yourself or becoming indifferent to others. It means choosing your well-being first. It means recognizing that your time and energy are limited and that not everyone or everything is worth your attention. It is about stepping into your power, owning your space, and allowing yourself to live freely without unnecessary burdens. Silence is not just an absence of words, but a presence of wisdom. When you stop explaining yourself, you allow others to reveal their true nature. You see who respects your boundaries, who values you for who you are, and who only seeks to take from you. In youth, there's often an urgency to respond, to fix situations, to make people understand. But in old age, there's a shift. You no longer have the patience for meaningless conversations, for forced relationships, or for giving energy to those who only drain you. Instead, you begin to cherish quiet moments, deep connections, and the ability to simply exist without obligation. One of the greatest freedoms of old age is the realization that you do not need to explain yourself to anyone. If you choose to spend a day in solitude, that is your right. If you no longer engage in family drama, that is your peace. If you walk away from toxic friendships, that is your wisdom. You do not owe anyone an explanation for the way you choose to live. You have spent years giving, compromising, and fulfilling responsibilities. Now, the only thing you need to focus on is what makes your heart feel light, your soul feel full, and your days feel meaningful. There will always be people who do not understand your choices. Some may call you distant, cold, or self-absorbed simply because you're no longer willing to engage in unnecessary emotional labor. But that is their misunderstanding, not your concern. Those who truly care for you will respect your boundaries and will celebrate your decision to prioritize yourself. Those who resent your silence were never truly there for you. They were there for what you could give them. Recognizing this is painful, but it is also liberating. You begin to see who is truly meant to be part of your journey and who is only there out of convenience. Focusing on yourself also means letting go of the need to control what is beyond your reach. In younger years, it is easy to believe that with enough effort, you can change people, fix relationships, or make everything work in harmony. But with age comes the understanding that not everything is meant to be fixed. Some things are meant to be accepted. Some are meant to be left behind, and some are meant to unfold in their own time without interference. The sooner you embrace this truth, the lighter your soul becomes. One of the most beautiful aspects of growing older is that you no longer feel the pressure to meet external expectations. You do not have to look a certain way, act a certain way, or live according to anyone else's rules. If you want to travel, you travel. If you want to rest, you rest. If you want to start a new hobby, learn a new skill, or simply sit in the quiet of your own thoughts, you do so without guilt. This is your time to live as you choose, free from the constraints that once dictated your life. Another benefit of focusing on yourself is the clarity it brings. When you step away from the noise of the world, you begin to see things as they truly are. You notice which relationships feel effortless and which ones feel forced. You realize which activities bring you joy and which ones drain you. You start to trust your own intuition, knowing that your inner voice has always been your greatest guide. In this clarity, you find strength, the kind of strength that comes from knowing yourself so deeply that nothing external can shake your sense of peace. Many people fear that as they grow older, they will become invisible. But the truth is, the most powerful people are often the quietest. They do not seek attention, yet their presence is felt. They do not need to prove themselves, yet they command respect. When you focus on yourself and stay silent in the face of unnecessary chaos, you become someone who moves through life with grace and dignity. You become the kind of person who does not need to chase validation, because your self-worth is already solidified within you. There is no shame in choosing yourself. There is no guilt in stepping back from things that no longer serve you. There is no obligation to sacrifice your happiness for the comfort of others. You have given enough. You have done enough. Now, it is time to simply be, to exist in a way that brings you joy, to cultivate peace within your soul, and to allow yourself to live without apology. The beauty of old age is that you finally get to write your own rules. No longer are you bound by the pressures of career, of raising a family, of meeting societal standards. This is your time, your chapter, your story to shape as you wish. And the greatest lesson of all is that you do not need to explain yourself to anyone. Your peace is yours to protect. Your energy is yours to preserve, and your happiness is yours to embrace. So if you've made it this far, I hope this message stays with you. If this resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe for more inspiration on living your best life in your golden years. Stay true to yourself, stay silent when necessary, and remember, your happiness is your greatest responsibility. Take care and live in peace. The greatest gift of aging is the freedom to live life on your own terms. No longer do you have to explain your choices, justify your happiness, or prove your worth to anyone. You have spent decades giving to others, raising children, maintaining relationships, fulfilling responsibilities, and carrying burdens that were not always yours to bear. But now, in this stage of life, you finally get to choose yourself. And that choice is not selfish, it is necessary. You have earned the right to put your peace first, to focus on what brings you joy, and to step away from anything that no longer serves you. Focusing on yourself does not mean shutting others out. It means being selective with your energy. It means choosing peace over conflict, stillness over chaos, and joy over obligation. It means understanding that not every problem needs your involvement, not every argument deserves your attention, and not every person in your life is meant to stay. Some relationships will fade, some connections will weaken, and that is perfectly okay. Those who truly respect and love you will understand your need for space, your desire for quiet, and your commitment to self-preservation. There's a profound power in staying silent when necessary. Silence is not avoidance. It is wisdom. It is knowing that not everything needs a response, that not every situation requires your input. It is understanding that walking away from negativity is not weakness, but strength. When you stay silent, you give yourself a chance to observe, to reflect, and to choose how to respond rather than reacting out of habit or emotion. You learn to protect your energy, to let go of unnecessary drama, and to prioritize your inner peace above all else. Many people misunderstand what it means to focus on oneself. They assume it means cutting people off, being distant, or refusing to engage with the world. But in reality, it means something much deeper. It means taking control of your happiness. It means waking up each day and deciding what will bring you peace, what will bring you joy, and what will nourish your soul. It means setting boundaries without guilt, saying no without apology, and living in a way that feels true to who you are. One of the greatest lessons of aging is realizing that you do not need permission to live as you choose. You do not need to seek approval. You do not need to explain yourself, and you certainly do not need to conform to what others expect of you. The moment you stop looking outside of yourself for validation, you step into a life of true freedom. You begin to embrace the quiet moments, the simple pleasures, and the beauty of just existing without pressure or expectation. Some will not understand your silence, and that is fine. Some will mistake your peace for indifference, and that is their misunderstanding to carry, not yours. You have nothing left to prove. You have lived, you have learned, and now you get to simply be. That is the beauty of the stage of life. It is yours to shape, yours to protect, and yours to enjoy without interference. Let go of anything that drains your spirit. Release any guilt for choosing yourself. Walk away from negativity with grace. And most importantly, trust that your happiness is not something you need to justify to anyone. You deserve peace. You deserve joy. You deserve to live in a way that makes you feel free. If this message spoke to you, I hope you carry it with you. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss out on more inspiration to live your best life in your golden years. Stay true to yourself, protect your energy, and remember, your peace is priceless. Take care and live beautifully.